So I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you've discussed something and then essentially it is literally mirrored back to you in something else that you have watched or that you've read or something like that, and it kind of creates this strange mirroring. So basically, I am a reader, and now I have a bit more time on my hands. I've kind of reconnected with books because I kind of have a bit of time to do that. So I'm currently reading Still Life by Louise, and that is book 1 in the Detective Gamache series. And I kind of came back from my walk after I'd posted that video, and then I was literally reading this chapter, and then it kind of almost spoke to exactly what I've been talking about in that video and kind of what I've been talking about this week. So I kind of wanted to share it with you guys. So in this part of the book, Gamache is at a bookshop, and the owner of the bookshop is kind of recommending a novel to him called Brother Albert's book, Loss. And she describes it as this. His theory is that life is loss. Loss of parents, loss of loves, loss of jobs. So we have to find a higher meaning in our lives than these things and people. Otherwise we'll lose ourselves. I think he's right. Most of us are great with change as long as it was our idea, but change imposed from the outside can send some people into a tailspin. I think Brother Albert hit it on the head. Life is loss, but out of that, as the book stresses, comes freedom. If we can accept that nothing is permanent and change is inevitable, if we can adapt, then we're going to be happier people. And then she talks about how she was a psychologist and she decided that she couldn't be a psychologist anymore because she was frustrated with clients, and she mentions a particular client that just didn't want to help himself. And so Gamache mentions, well, that, you know, your other clients must have tried to kind of help themselves. And she says, oh yes, but they were the ones who got better quite quickly because they worked hard at it and genuinely wanted it. The others said they wanted to get better, but I think, and this isn't popular in psychology circles, I think many people love their problems. Gives them all sorts of excuses for not growing up and getting on with life. Life is change. If you aren't growing and evolving, you're standing still, and the rest of the world is surging ahead. Most of these people are very immature. They lead still lives, waiting for someone to save them, expecting someone to save them, or at least protect them from the big, bad world. The thing is, no one else can save them because the problem is theirs, and so is the solution. Only they can get out of it. So it's interesting because the book is called Still Life, and it's talking about this concept that I've kind of been mentioning a little bit in videos. That's, you kind of got two people in the world. You've got people who want to believe in therapy and want to progress and kind of integrate those lessons and realise that things have happened to them in their lives, but they have the power to change how they react to it. They have the power to heal those behaviours, and they have the power to move forward. And then you've got people who kind of play a bit of a victim complex, and you meet loads of them, and unfortunately they don't want to grow. They want to find out that they have problems or they've had a tough life, and then they don't want to integrate therapeutic lessons. But also that the bit that was talking about loss is really interesting, because inevitably the only thing in this life is the guarantee that there will be constant change. And so it's really interesting, particularly because I'm going through and have been through this year a really big year of loss and change, kind of knowing that it's inevitable that we're all going to go through it, and it's kind of this belief in yourself and the belief that you have autonomy over your life and you have the power to adapt better than you think, and that it's almost part of the human condition as well. It's kind of weirdly reassuring, and this book was written in 2005, so this concept of dealing with life's challenges and this concept of whether you want to have autonomy over how you process things that have happened to you and your problems is still something that's really prevalent and really important in 2025, almost 20 years later. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I just thought it was crazy how I've literally been thinking about these things, and these are things that have been percolating in my mind, and then through some weird chance, it's exactly what comes up in a book, which I will be honest, it's a cozy thriller type of series, so it's not meant to be particularly philosophical. But it provided me with a little bit of literary comfort, so hopefully it does the same to you.